Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, joining us with Sam Smith at Golf Repairs for You, where we're going to be talking angles, aren't we?
Yeah, like I said, it's such a big factor in irons, and like I said, it's just making sure you know what setup you need, basically.
I mean, the question we're going to answer today is how much can lie angle actually affect ball flight? You know, I think a lot of you guys at home probably do know a little bit about lie angle in terms of sort of statically fitting but how much, do they know about dynamic fitting? Because what a lot of people don't realise, Sam, is people don't always get fitted for lie angle based on the static measurements, do they?
No, like I said, you got your static fitted like a reference point, but then, like I said, it all depends how you hit the ball as well. So like I said, with like the foresight software I use, you've got like the stickers you can put with face that'll pick up a dynamic lie, and again, it's just physically seeing ball flight as well. At the end of the day, if it's flying straight, then it's working really.
So just explain to subscribers what we're going to do today. How we're going to test this?
Yeah, so we'll exaggerate it a little bit to see, but we'll do kind of standard lie angle. We'll do 3 degree flat, and we'll do 3 degree up, and like I said, that should give you a big enough range that you should definitely see some impact. And again, another thing to point out: there's no kind of standard in the industry. Everyone's brands have a different standard. So even if you went, say, standard line Mizuno and you got fitted, and then next set's a Titleist, the lie angle, even though you say standard, it's probably 1 or 2 degrees different.
And I'm sure there'll be a lot of people at home that's done that before. I've had a fitting, I'm 1 degree up right, 100%. And then they order the next set.
Yeah, you just think naturally, I'll be the same line, but like I said, all you need to be fitted into is the actual, degree, not so much if I'm 1 up, 2 up, 1 flat, etc. So yeah, like I said, we'll get you kind of hitting all 3 and just see what it does. Basically.
Well, let's get started, but don't tell me what each club is. So we'll do it blind. You just pass me the club. I'll hit maybe 5 balls with each club. Yeah. And then we'll have a look and discuss. And I'll try and guess at the end which I think, obviously was the 3 up, standard and flat.
Yeah, and at the same time, what I'll do, I'll just double check your lie angle, see what you actually end up being. And again, I don't know what, you've not told me what your spec is with your ping irons, but like I said, it again might potentially be different depending on what you kind of did in the process when you ordered yours. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. Right,
so we're going to start by doing a bit of a static fit, aren't we?
Yeah, so we're going to wrist to floor measurement. Like I said, just to get your reference point, if I do an iron fitting for all often like chat with anyone, I do this, like I said, just to see where to start with. Yeah. But like I said, it's not always a case that, whatever your reference point is and your static fit, that you end up being that. It all depends how you come into the ball, basically.
I think this will be a great sort of example for you guys at home why it's so important not just to have a static fitting, because you might assume that whatever I'm statically measured for with Sam now will provide, well, let's just go through it. Let's see what I actually am.
You just take your glove off me for us. I'll measure it with your glove hand. But yeah, if you can keep your back straight, feet shoulder width apart, and your palms facing outwards to your sides, perfect. I'll do your wrist to floor. You just measure from a wrist crease, basically, so 97 centimetres.
So that's the first wrist crease.
Yeah, just there. So if we look at the chart, and like I said, ping chart's such an easy kind of way to show everyone. Like, so we can put it up on the screen as well. But yeah, like I said 97 centimetres. What's your height, Gary?
I'm 6'2".
6'2". So yeah, you're coming up. Yeah, you're very kind of borderline between white and silver dot, which is very upright. But again, this is where you have a conversation that because you like to play a fade, it's like if you went to 4 degree up, could you even physically be able to fade it?
Well, this is where you guys at home are going to, you might assume that the 3 degrees upright club, which we're going to blind test, would give me the best results. Yeah. But I'm not sure if it will. I mean, I don't want to get into any sort of conclusion before we even start. Yeah. But it'd be interesting to see, because I've never actually tried a club, Sam, that's standard, or I've never owned a club at standard lie or 3 degrees flat. It's just something I've never tried.
Yeah, like I said, if you always know you're going to be upright, you'll always order upright. Yeah. Until you physically go in depth and try it. So like me, for example, I think I'm in between kind of 2 and 3 up, and I play my irons 1 flat. And again, it's...
But only you would do that because you're a golf pervert and you've got the access to all of this.
Well, that's the thing. It's just, exactly, it's having the access to it. And, just...
And having the access to a good fitter. It's all right having the equipment. There's plenty of places that have a lot of equipment, but you've got to have the right person to fit it who's got... I'm not saying... But got the balls to fit you for something that's...
It sounds a bit
away from your static fittings. A lot of fitters will be dead comfortable in just thinking, well, if we stick to that static measurement, You know, he might develop into set, or
Yeah.
it's a safe way to fit someone.
I think the only way
without getting bad feedback.
Exactly. I think the only way I'd ever do static fit and rely on it if someone's a beginner golfer.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's the starting point, and like so their swing could change drastically even over like a month.
Yeah.
So that's the only time I'd ever do that if I want to. You know, if he said, "Oh, I've just brought a random set of irons, can I just check?" And I'd just go, "Look, I'd probably." Again, it depends on ball flight, but if it's a very consistent flight, I'd just go off static fit. But that's generally the only time I'd ever do it.
Yeah.
You know, any time it's, you know, people have played for a long time, you know, I'd always just go in depth a lot more. But I think the main thing is, you know, like I said, we'll see the loft and line machine in a minute, but I think having that right next to you when you're hitting it's such a key thing.
Yeah.
You just literally, you know, bend it, hit it, bend it again. You know,
Yeah.
where a lot of places would be like, oh yeah, we'll just do lie board and that'll be it basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, we'll have
Anyway, let's get cracking. So we're testing with a PXG 03170, which looks a lovely looking head, by the way.
Yeah, it's really good. It came out a bit later than the other 0317 range, but yeah, it's like a P770 kind of thing, like a slim hollow club. But yeah, if we hit 5, you know, with each one go, we'll see how we go.
I mean, looking down at it, if I was going to have a guess, you know what us golfers are like, when you look down at your clubs, you can sometimes guess what club it is, can't you?
Yeah.
You know, like loft-wise. I would say, looking at lie-wise, I'm going to have a bit of a guess, and I'm going to say that looks, to me, standard.
Right, okay.
It certainly looks a little bit flatter than
what
I have.
Right, okay.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, I actually use 2 degrees upright.
Okay.
So I was surprised when you just statically measured me then. You're saying that I actually statically measure at 3 to 4, don't I?
Yeah. So green dot yours are?
Yeah, mine are green, yeah. That felt lovely, that one. Maybe there's just no help for me. If this is, of course, standard. I can't see me liking it when it's flat, because I've never had anything like less than
Yeah, I got what you mean.
probably like 1 degree upright, so...
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, well, you never know, do you?
Well, yeah, you never know.
You never know.
Can you imagine?
So, yeah, let me alter it now. So, if you just don't see what I'm kind of altering it to.
How much do these actually bend then? Because you're going to move that from 3 up to 3 flat, 6 degrees.
In theory, yeah.
Yeah, it's snapping it.
Yeah, it's forged, so yeah, it's generally fine. Obviously, anything cast, you're always very limited. You know, maybe 1 or 2 degrees. It just depends on the brand really, and how quality the club is.
I saw something online because a lot of brands now are stamping forged onto the clubs.
Yeah,
when in fact it's sometimes just the face that's forged, isn't it?
Yeah, I did see that. That was with
it was T200, weren't it?
Flanagan Built Golf.
Is that how it worked?
Yeah, because they do a customisation. They said I can't get round why
it won't bend.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that last night.
Yeah, I saw that. But to be fair, does it really matter apart from moving the club whether the body is forged?
Not really. I think in his case, because he does a lot of customisation, he couldn't do as much as he could. But yeah, like I said, it shouldn't make much difference. I think
if you're wanting a forged club, you probably want it to feel soft, aren't you? So as long as the face is soft.
Yeah, like I said, it's not a huge issue if you like the hosel and the back of a club's kind of cast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of them are going a bit more misleading and just saying forged because part of the club's forged.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to be careful if you want like a true kind of forged club.
Yeah.
But it's fair, you can always generally tell when you're bending something if it's properly forged.
What's best forged club you've ever had?
Mizuno are hard to beat, I'd say, in terms of kind of quality.
Quality and price.
Yeah, quality.
Because I thought Miura and brands like that were supposed to be good.
Yeah, so anything that's like Japanese market, like Miura, Epon, stuff like Honma, they're brilliant, but like the price point's generally very high.
Yeah.
So like I said, yeah, they're like butter, but yeah, obviously it comes with a price.
Right, let me have a guess.
Just look away for us.
Ooh, you've got it. this has to be flatter. It has to be, because toes like wanting to stick down, and I can see the heel lifting off floor a little bit now. Yeah, I'd have to kind of lower my hands, so definitely can see that that's flatter. Be interesting to see what this does to both, because in theory this should actually help me, shouldn't it?
Yeah, so if it is flatter, like you say, the toes should dig in and kind of want to open the face a bit. So again, that can dictate ball flight, definitely.
That actually felt really nice at impact, by the way.
So they're pretty neutral, to be honest.
No one's ever given me a flatter club to test. That'd be crazy.
Well, there's connection as well. Sometimes you can see a bit of an increase in ball speed if you change the line angle, because you just compress it the right way, really.
A few people said to me, Sam, as well, with some fittings that we've done already, is why are you fitting around? Why don't you go and have a lesson, kind of thing?
Yeah.
But I feel as though I played golf long enough to kind of know that, although I might not be perfect, I repeat what I do pretty well.
Yeah.
You know, like, and also like, I'm not aspiring to spend a lot of time on practicing. You know, practicing these days. I'm busy with work, busy vlogging.
Yeah.
I just want to build the clubs, you know, to be as good as possible for me.
Yeah, and I think the same for a lot of amateur golfers. We've not got time to practice. That's why when you do a fitting, you got to make sure it's absolutely spot on, that it's going to help you best it can.
That, to me,
Definitely seems a little bit straight.
it feels as though, like, yeah, it's more fade bias. I know.
I mean,
that.
what I've noticed, I feel like your carry's a little bit better.
Well, them first two strikes felt amazing. Felt so much better interaction. God, fitting's crazy, isn't it? Really. You've got to probably get out of your mind static fitting.
Yeah,
you know, if you're like
got to
a
come in with
golfer,
completely open mind, and like I said,
you can be so led by
set in stone.
what statically you measure.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I wonder how far the pros deviate from static measurements when they're fitting.
Yeah, I've always wanted to know that in terms of what the specs are and what they actually should be, and stuff like, even like the swing weights they do and stuff like that.
Because you look at like someone like Bryson's swing, or I don't know, Furyk's swing, they can't be.
They can't. Yeah, even though they might be similar heights. I think Furyk's quite tall, and it's like again with how Bryson swings, I think he's 7 up, which is like definitely not
7 up, right?
Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
not going to measure that
up.
statically, is
No,
he?
no way. You'd have to have like really tiny arms, basically. But you can see straight away, like, you know, definitely more right-sided, or well, not really right-sided, more straight, really.
Yeah.
But if you look at distance as well, we're going further.
Yeah.
Whether that's compression's better or ball speed goes up, you know, we can obviously look at the data in a minute.
I think confidence-wise, you know, like when it sits, it's like it's looking as though it wants to be open more.
Yeah.
The face, I don't know.
And that's why I think I've gone to, you know, one flat where, you know, I hate seeing it left, and it just feels like I can kind of hold the face open longer.
Yeah. That was the one that I felt like I'd pulled there. So
It's still not as left.
yeah. That swing would have been worse than that one on the left, you know, the red one.
Yeah. Right, so what you think to that now?
Well, that's certainly the most upright club, and this is probably the club that most retailers would fit me for. You know, obviously.
Yeah. Like I said, if that's the upright one, that would be very close. Well, that is what you'd be. We said 3 up to 3 to 4 degree
You
up.
can tell me, Sam, I'm not daft. That's the upright one, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's quite obvious.
It's one I'm looking down at now.
It's quite hard to do a blind test with.
I don't actually like it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's the closest to my own clubs.
Yeah,
isn't it?
It is. Like I say, if yours are 2 up, that's not far off. And again, we'd have to see what Ping's exact spec is, but yeah, it won't be far off.
Oh, that was just a miss it. Even though it was bottoming though, I've still closed the face, haven't I?
Well, potentially have to take that out to not affect numbers too much, but it depends how Depends if you do that kind of 5 times, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, we'll take that one out, guys. It weren't a good strike. Let's get 5 more. Oh, why am I not hitting that so well?
I think because it's heels digging in, personally. I know we've gone maybe quite a bit of an extreme change, but still, it's maybe no coincidence why you've hit 2 very similar kind of mishits. Well, I think that's more line goal than anything, I'll be honest.
I'm going to have to just try. I mean, to be fair, I do try and fade my own irons anyway. Obviously, I'm just going from one that we're going pretty straight, putting the same swing on it now.
Yeah, but that's the thing, you don't want to feel like you have to manipulate it, which I think a lot of people do.
Even that was the biggest fade swing ever, and it still missed just slightly. I mean, it weren't a bad shot, but that just shows how much I'm fighting to...
Well, for me, it's a consistency. Like, you've hit the 3 flat, everyone's at the green.
Yeah.
Standard, do you think, what? Well, yeah, you've hit 3 or 4, one's definitely missed. But then obviously you've only hit 1 so far out of 4.
Maybe we don't take them out. I mean, this is the real thing, you know. Maybe we take one of them out. But...
I think if you'd have done 1 and then 4, very good. But to be honest, you've hit 3, not great. So I think that's just kind of what the line was telling you.
I don't feel comfortable here. Just stood over it before I even hit it. Just don't look aspiring to me. I think you can tell because I'm so nervous before I even take the bloody club away. I'm stood over it like...
You can see it. Look at the ball flight change.
Yeah.
It just draws so much more.
I'm stood over it and I can't take the club away. You know, like when you get that...
I think you need to ring ping and say, can you change my line goes while
at
we get it reweighted? To be honest.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I'd do that. Because again, we'll change the colour dot as well. I think that's your 5 card.
Could you bend them much?
I can bend them, but you're best them doing it if you're already with them. I think that's your 5.
I think we stick with that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
we were
keep
going to take them out, guys, but I honestly think that that's more due to club than me.
Yeah, at least then you've hit 5. No shots have been taken out. But again, you can see that, I think if it was 1, then take it out. But because you've done 3, which are really not great, and then 2 not bad, like, so I think that's just more line goal saying that it's not working.
It is. I'm stood over it, and like I said, I'm nervous to take it away, and I feel like I've got to really manipulate it to keep it straight.
Yeah, well, like I said, the flatter lie, it just does it naturally. You ain't got to force it. And again, you felt like you didn't have to put a fade swing on, and it was just very neutral ball flight.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have a look at numbers now. It'd be interesting.
Right then, what are these numbers showing us?
Yeah,
Sam?
I'll be honest, Gary, they're way different than I thought. Like I said, 3 degree flats perform way better. If you look at ball speed. So we can put this on the screen as well to make it easier. But like I said, 119.8 ball speed, standard like 116.4, 3 degree up 112.8. So that just shows in terms of a line angle change how much you can press in a flat line angle better.
Yeah.
And again, if you look at like the deviations, how much kind of the numbers fluctuate. Like I said, ball speed with standard's most consistent, fair enough, but obviously still slower. Launch angle all stay very similar in terms of deviation, but the 3 degree flat launch is higher, again, potentially because it's delivering a more open face.
Yeah.
But again, you look at spin, that varies a bit. But again, deviation is definitely best with 3 degree flat. And again, like, you look at the dispersion, definitely tighter circle with the flat.
Yeah,
like
the blue line guy. I mean, even trajectory. Look at the trajectory, guys, on the blue.
Yeah, it's completely different.
It's a higher launch.
It's high launch and spins kind of middle of the road. But like I said, because it's flown quicker through the air and it's launched high, it's really different ball flight.
I can't wait to show them this other bit as well. Club speed.
Yeah, like I said, if you look now,
because anybody at home might be thinking, now we're hitting harder with the 3 degree flat.
So yeah, you've only done 1 mile an hour, which isn't a huge amount, but look at your efficiency difference as well. So that's quite similar, but you swung it 1.5 miles slow with a standard lie.
Yeah.
Look at the difference between 3 up and 3 flat. And like I said, the 3 up's most similar to your current setup.
Yeah.
So it just shows you can't get that connection. Again, path doesn't really vary, so it shows that's kind of consistent in terms of the ball flight. Angle attack varies a little bit, but nothing major.
I mean, like, obviously, if you were fitting me then with this data, you probably might need to do a little bit more testing. But what would you? No one's ever suggested.
Definitely flat.
No one's ever suggested anything less than 1 degree upright.
Yeah.
And you think I'm going to be like minus?
You're definitely flat. I mean, you can see even standard lie. It was all right.
Yeah.
But when you look at the ball speed difference and dispersion, you'd have probably settled on standard lie if you'd have not tried flat.
Yeah.
But again, then you try flat and you can see dispersion gets even better, ball speed's even better. It's just such a big difference. But like I said, look at the distance, 172 carry compared to 165 and 159. That's a massive difference. And again, total, we know it's running a little bit because it's kind of running onto a green, but like I said, carry's kind of the main thing.
Yeah.
But like I said, again, 3 variants to the yard, same for standard, but 11 yards variance of upright because you can't get that connection.
Yeah.
As soon as you lose that connection and variance, look at like ball speed deviation.
Yeah.
It's massive with the upright because you're getting inconsistent strikes. Jeez. So for me, we'd have to do more testing, but definitely flat. Maybe not 3 degree, but again, you can see how consistent it was.
Yeah.
But I think 100% you'd be flat lie angle.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
So it's very surprising. Like I said, based off your static fit and based off your height,